Have you ever wondered about the real-life implications of the Fourth Amendment in the United States Constitution? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into one of the most significant cases in American legal history that directly tackled this issue: Arizona v. Gant. This case is a fascinating exploration of the Fourth Amendment, which guards us against unreasonable searches and seizures. It's an integral part of our Constitution that maintains the balance between individual privacy rights and the state's need to maintain public safety. Arizona v. Gant doesn't just exist in dusty law textbooks. Its implications echo in our everyday lives, shaping how law enforcement operates and how our rights are protected. It's a case that pushed the boundaries and challenged the interpretations of the Fourth Amendment, leading to a landmark Supreme Court decision. So if you're intrigued by the interplay of law, rights, and societal implications, you're in for a treat. Stay tuned as we delve into the intriguing details of the landmark Supreme Court case, Arizona v. Gant. Picture this: it's 1999 in Tucson, Arizona, and Rodney Joseph Gant is about to have a life-changing encounter with law enforcement. Rodney Joseph Gant, a man known to the Tucson Police Department, was pulled over one fateful evening for driving with a suspended license, a seemingly ordinary traffic violation. However, what started as a mundane traffic stop soon took a turn for the extraordinary. As the officers approached Gant's vehicle, they had no idea that this routine stop would ignite a legal battle reaching the highest court in the land. The officers, acting on prior knowledge and suspicion, decided to search Gant's car. This wasn't a cursory glance, mind you, but a full-blown, thorough search. And as it often happens in such cases, the officers' search was not in vain. They discovered cocaine, a drug notorious for its illegal status, tucked away in the back of Gant's car. The officers, now having tangible evidence, placed Gant under arrest, charging him not only with the initial traffic violation, but also with possession of a controlled substance. Now, it's important to note that Gant's arrest wasn't particularly unique. Every day across the United States, individuals are arrested for similar offences. But what sets this instance apart was the subsequent legal scrutiny that the police officers' actions would come under. The search of Gant's car, while leading to the discovery of illegal drugs, raised a critical question, one that would challenge the interpretation of the Fourth Amendment. Did the officers overstep their boundaries? Did they infringe on Gant's constitutional rights? These questions, sparked by the circumstances of Gant's arrest, would set the stage for a legal showdown that would echo through the halls of the Supreme Court. This seemingly straightforward arrest would soon become a landmark case in the annals of the Supreme Court. The wheels of justice began to turn, setting the stage for a legal battle that would redefine Fourth Amendment rights. After Gant's arrest, the legal proceedings took a swift turn. His charges were twofold: driving with a suspended license and possession of a narcotic drug. While these were serious offences, what truly piqued interest was the defence's argument that Gant's Fourth Amendment rights were violated during his arrest. But what exactly does the Fourth Amendment say? In simple terms, it protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. It ensures that the government can't just barge into your home or search your car without a warrant, probable cause, or your consent. Gant's defense argued that the search of his car, after he had been handcuffed and secured in the patrol car, was unreasonable and violated the Fourth Amendment. They held that there was no risk of evidence being destroyed or a threat to officer safety, which are the two exceptions that would allow a warrantless search. The trial court, however, didn't buy this argument. They agreed with the prosecution that the search was justified under the search incident to arrest doctrine, a rule that allows police officers to search an arrestee's person and immediate surroundings without a warrant. Gant was convicted on both counts, but he didn't stop there. He appealed his conviction, arguing once again that the search of his car was unconstitutional. The appellate court agreed with Gant, but the state didn't let it rest. They appealed to the Arizona Supreme Court, who upheld the appellate court's decision. But the story doesn't end there. The state appealed again, this time to the highest court of the land. The case, initially a local matter, was about to take a national stage at the Supreme Court. As the Supreme Court heard the case, the nation waited with bated breath for a decision that could potentially redefine the Fourth Amendment. So, what happened when the Supreme Court finally ruled on Arizona v. Gant? Well, the nation was not kept waiting for too long. The Supreme Court, in a narrow 5-4 decision, ruled in favor of Rodney Gant. This decision was a significant shift from previous interpretations of the search incident to arrest rule. Now, what is this search incident to arrest rule, you ask? Well, it's a legal principle that allows police to perform a warrantless search of an arrested person and the immediate surroundings for weapons, evidence or means of escape. Before this case, the police could search a vehicle after an arrest, regardless of whether the arrestee could access the vehicle at the time of the search. But the Supreme Court's ruling in Arizona v. Gant changed that. The court ruled that police may search a vehicle incident to a recent occupant's arrest only if the arrestee is within reaching distance of the passenger compartment at the time of the search, or it is reasonable to believe the vehicle contains evidence of the offence that led to the arrest. In simpler terms, the police can't go rummaging through your car after arresting you unless they have a reason to believe that there's evidence in the car related to the reason for your arrest, or if you're close enough to the car to pose a danger to the officers. The rationale behind the Supreme Court's decision was to prevent unnecessary intrusions into citizens' privacy. In the majority opinion, Justice John Paul Stevens emphasised that the rule was not designed to give police a free pass to conduct a search, but rather to protect officers and prevent the destruction of evidence. This ruling was a reassertion of the Fourth Amendment, which protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. By narrowing the scope of the search incident to arrest rule, the Supreme Court reinforced the importance of this constitutional right. However, it's important to note that this ruling was not without controversy. The 4 dissenting justices argued that the decision was a departure from previous precedents and could potentially put law enforcement officers at risk. They contended that the majority's interpretation of the rule was too restrictive and failed to consider the realities of on-the-ground policing. Despite these criticisms, the ruling in Arizona v. Gant stands as one of the most significant Supreme Court decisions in recent years. It has had a profound impact on law enforcement practices across the country and has reshaped our understanding of the Fourth Amendment. With a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court set a new precedent, reinforcing the Fourth Amendment protections. The Supreme Court's ruling in Arizona v. Gant sent ripples through the nation, forever altering the way law enforcement conducts searches. This momentous decision was more than just a ruling. It sparked a profound transformation in the realm of law enforcement practices, particularly in relation to searches incident to arrest. Before Arizona v. Gant, law enforcement had a fairly broad latitude when it came to searches. The landmark decision, however, significantly narrowed this scope. It established that police officers could only search a vehicle incident to a recent occupant's arrest if the arrestee is within reaching distance of the passenger compartment at the time of the search, or it is reasonable to believe the vehicle contains evidence of the offence of arrest. In essence, the ruling reinforced the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, serving as a significant check on police power. In the wake of this ruling, law enforcement agencies across the nation had to re-evaluate and adjust their search procedures. Training programs were revamped and officers were re-educated to ensure compliance with the new standard. The ruling also had a significant impact on subsequent court cases. Courts now had a fresh precedent to draw upon when dealing with issues relating to searches incident to arrest. But the legacy of Arizona v. Gant extends beyond the immediate aftermath. It serves as a potent example of the dynamic nature of constitutional interpretation and its direct impact on everyday life. It highlights the critical role of the Supreme Court in protecting individual rights, even in the face of evolving societal and legal landscapes. Indeed, the case stands as a testament to the enduring relevance of constitutional protections in the modern age. It reminds us that these protections are not static, but are continually reinterpreted and reshaped to meet the needs of a changing society. Arizona v. Gant serves as a potent reminder of the living, breathing nature of our Constitution and the continuing relevance of the Fourth Amendment.